To my right, I have Mark Rieder, Head of Innovation at NFP, an insurance brokerage consulting firm, and Dave Hanley, CEO of Tomorrow. And they're going to talk to you about their strategic partnership and the product development behind the Tomorrow app, which is a very interesting app that I've followed for quite some time.
Well, really excited to be here today, especially yesterday was our official announcement of our partnership, NFP and Tomorrow. So we're really excited to talk to you today about what that partnership means. Before we go there and let Dave dive into the product, a little backdrop on NFP. We are a global insurance broker and consultant, and we support the verticals of employee benefits, property and casualty, retirement planning, and some high net worth life insurance and asset management. And earlier this year, we launched our Innovation Lab and Venture Fund. And the task of the main driver for that is educating our advisors and our clients on the great new tools and platforms that are coming to market in all of our verticals. Life insurance being one of them, employee benefits being another. And we're excited that our first check that we cut was a partnership with Tomorrow. And we're excited to kick off that partnership. And I'm going to hand it over to Dave to talk a little bit about what Tomorrow is, talk about the progress he made in developing the app, and then ultimately how NFP and Tomorrow came together to enhance the distribution that's already existing.
So a little bit about Tomorrow. So Tomorrow is an app for your phone that makes a will, a trust, and offers life insurance. We offer the will completely for free. You can download the app right now instead of listening to me, and by the time that Mark and I finish here in a few minutes, you'll have a legal will that you can print out. Legal in all 50 states. What we are able to do, though, is we're a broker of really all financial products. Right now, we offer term life insurance inside of there. A small percentage of our users buy the life insurance, but ends up actually being a really nice business for us. Because if you think about it, if you've completed your will, you've actually completed about half the information that you need to complete a life insurance application. So it just takes a few minutes to buy life insurance inside of the app.
What was the genesis of Tomorrow? How did this idea come about?
My last company, I built and sold a couple of companies, one to Amazon, but my last one was a social media agency that I sold to Deloitte. We had all these young people who were there sort of at the early frontiers of social media marketing, and then we sell to Deloitte and everyone's getting married and having babies, and I found that none of them had wills, none of them had life insurance, and I found myself in all these conversations like, you ever heard of term life insurance? Like, this is very cheap. And when I looked at the data, I saw that 80% of Americans don't have a will. And this really creates, and the life insurance participation rates are almost as bad. You realize that this is a preventable form of poverty that could be solved. Having just continuity in place for what's the plan for your kids if anything happens. This seemed like something I could really get interested in, and turns out I was right.
So take us from proof of concept all the way through to where we are today, and then we'll dive into a little bit about the partnership.
Yeah, so we built a prototype based off of, went through a paper prototyping process and designed what we were thinking about doing with Tomorrow. I took that concept to the World Economic Forum and actually put it in front of a bunch of the global CEOs of life, for Zurich, for Swiss Re, for others, and got a lot of really positive reaction to this idea of using estate planning as a way of bringing people into financial services, and potentially also vice versa. Two industries that, for some reason, as an outsider, I couldn't understand why they're apart, and so I wanted to put them together. Came back from that, started building out, raised capital from a bunch of different sources, and then we actually launched the app about a year ago, and got really great B2C traction. We knew always that working together with partners was the way for us to get these stair-step growth that we wanted, but we knew that we had to prove ourselves out and prove the model, show that people like it, use it, and will convert. And so, here we are at ITC last year, and we ran into you folks for the first time.
Yeah, a little plug for InsurTech here. Typical process within NFP and our lab. And our lab is a research lab. We don't have data scientists sitting around. We're really outwardly looking for products and solutions that will add to our value proposition from a broker's perspective. Actually external in facing our customers, as well as internal, the way in which we are doing business. There's this Venn diagram I have in my mind where there is some overlap with the platforms that we are analyzing through the lab that would be better suited internally to improve the way in which we conduct business, and then others that were outward facing to our customers. So in a typical form, we'd be bringing and sourcing companies through the lab, engaging our subject matter experts from around the country to weigh in on the platform, which could result in us liking that platform and following it and having that as our preferred platform in a particular niche. It could also mean that we want to formalize a partnership because we really feel as if we can help from a distribution perspective, typically enhancing distribution, and we'll talk about that. We're not looking to be the sole distributor. We're hoping that the platform already has a model in place and has proven track record of going to market, and that we as an organization can enhance that in some form or fashion. And then in the most extreme case, it's throwing it over the wall to our venture fund. Company might be looking to raise some capital. We're really intrigued on how we can bring our subject matter expertise to the table and collaborate to push that distribution. But this one didn't happen that way, right? Yeah, so.
No, it actually didn't. So we actually closed around last spring. It's Mavron, Sinai, Aflac, Allianz. A great group of investors came in, and we'd already closed the round. NFP, I mean, honestly, especially as a new fund, we probably wouldn't have made room or created room specifically for NFP, but they actually came to us first with the distribution plan and said, this is what our audience looks like, these are the people we get, these are the brands that we have, and this is how we're roughly envisioning how we can go to market. They understood and had passion for our product, and so we actually created an instrument that allowed them to invest, which is what we announced today, and then that basically has aligned all of our interests around this, because part of it is we believe NFP, we really like NFP. They have, many millions of people that we can reach into. But with any partnership, you really need to make sure that the water is going to get to the end of the row. If it's from a broker to an employer and down to the employee, that we want to make sure the motivation is there, and actually writing a 7-figure check, I think helps make sure that we're all aligned.
For sure. And I would say, our intrigue with Tomorrow was, in multiple reasons why we're intrigued with the platform. One of them, though, is being that they've proven out a direct-to-consumer model. We're typically working with corporate customers. We don't have a big presence in the direct-to-consumer market. However, we're not blind to see the fact that the gig economy and the freelance economy is growing at a rapid pace. And at the end of the day, we also see the challenges that Dave has brought to light here around people not having wills. So if we can help through our corporate distribution of 50,000 corporate customers that have then, I don't know the number of employees we're actually touching, but we can bring this benefit in an innovative way to employers that can then pass this platform on to their employees, then we're helping solve a problem that Tomorrow was built to do. And at the same time, we're helping diversify in having a partnership with a company and starting to take us into that individual gig economy workforce as opposed to just focusing on group distribution. So.
I mean, I look around the room at some of the folks who I do know here who are coming from the corporate venture side. Oh, hey, how's it going? Whether it's you're on the carrier side, broker, or others, really, in my opinion, what you need to either bring distribution or manufacture. So you're either going to work with us to manufacture a product that we actually need or want that's unique to what's in the marketplace, of which level term, in my opinion, is not what consumers need. And we can have a side conversation about what I think they do need, because we're actually interviewing manufacturing partners right now. On the other side is distribution. And it's always a little scary. Do you really want to, expose your customers to something? So you have to go find the ones that you really want to place your bet on, where you think the quality, the brand, the experience are in sync with what you're doing, and then be willing to write that most expensive check, which is actually putting these companies in front of your customers.
Yeah, and I think you have to have a good relationship. You have to like the people you're going to work with. I think that's number one. There has to be a vision in place. There has to be proof of concept already. There has to be a platform, a solid technology platform, and there has to be distribution already. So you're not only dependent upon this relationship to drive distribution solely, but there's already distribution and we're really just enhancing it. So I think that, understanding that we both can stand on our own feet, but together we can bring together to market a better product that is distributed more widely, that's a win-win.